In today's video, I'm going to go over the most essential skills that you need to learn in Rainbow Six Siege. From finding your sensitivity, which is super easy, to understanding perspective and shyo peeking, which is hard, and everything else in between. So if you guys find any value in today's video, make sure that you guys like, sub, and comment, and share to a friend who needs to learn one of these skills. Let's get into it. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is go over to the training grounds area. Let's look at your sensitivity. Now, I'm going to do this just for an example. I'm going to put all of my ADSs on random stuff, including my, horizontal and vertical, just to show you that I'm doing it with you so I can break down a sensitivity. First, let's go into options. Let's put on round duration. Let's put it on big balls. I love big balls. You can put on the maximum target just to 1. Movement speed would just be on sprint. I would put the target distance to medium, and then ammo doesn't really matter. Okay, so what you're going to be doing here is you're going to be trying to track this ball. And as you can tell, I'm over tracking like a mug. And for a lot of you guys, this is a huge issue because you can't track the ball, which means you're not going to be consistent overall. And if you're not able to track, then how are you going to be able to get kills consistently? So let's break this down a little bit. So what I'm noticing is my horizontal and vertical and ADS, to be honest, is way too fast for me, which is the cause for a lot of you guys. It's either your sensitivity is way too fast or way too slow. So I'm just gonna duck this down like 50, to be honest, because I'm on 100. So now we're rocking a 59. So let's try tracking again. Now it's a lot better, but as you can tell, there's like a stutter. And if I'm over tracking, then that means my sense is too fast. But if I was under tracking, like my crosshair was following behind the big ball, then that would mean my sense is too slow. So I'm over tracking once again. So I'm going to turn my, horizontal and vertical down again. Now I know it's way too fast because how stuttery it feels. So once again, I'm just going to keep lowering my sensitivity until I find that nice little sweet spot. So let's see. As you can tell, this is a lot better. I can almost consistently track it, but do you see how it's stuttering almost? Like it's not smooth. I want my tracking to be as smooth as possible because if I make even the slightest adjustment on my wrist, I'm over tracking the ball. So that just means my sense is way too fast for me once again. So I'm going to probably just go down to 29. I'm just going to lower my ADS sense a wee bit again because I know for a fact that's way too fast. And let's go back in. So I didn't mean to click. So now, as you can tell, it's still a little bit stuttery, but at least like I almost have a consistent tracking down, and that's good because we're almost there. This is so easy, guys, and a lot of people just don't do this. Thank God we finally got a training grounds because it makes tracking and figuring out your sensitivity 10 times easier. But I think my ADS sense is honestly fine. I think it was just my vertical and horizontal. So we're going to see what happens when I load back in. Okay, as you can tell, the tracking is damn near perfect. Now, I do have a little bit under tracking or over tracking. And to be fair, that just comes down to a brand new sensitivity. Because this wasn't my sense before. So the muscle memory is a little bit broken. So once you find that sweet spot in terms of the sensitivity, you can start practicing. Now, on my YouTube channel, I do have a drill video where you go into the training grounds and you find best ways to practice your aim in game, and it's good for console players and PC players. I feel like this might be perfect to really test out your ADS sense. You can go over here in the training grounds and see how good your recoil control is. Put it on medium control, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of how this feels because my sensitivity on my other sensitivity, my recoil control was a lot better. So I'm going to try just to see what a slower sense feels like, just to see how my recoil is. And I think that my ADS is way too slow now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the controls and we're going to try my ADS sense in the 40s just to see what happens. We're going to clear it. See, this is a lot better. It's just, once again, the muscle memory is broken from me changing my sense. So it's going to take time for me to really get that sensitivity down again. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just going to take some time. But I feel like when it comes to my horizontal and vertical, my sensitivity is good. Now, I'm sitting in the 50s now. So I think maybe the 50s might be the wave for me. Because even though my recoil control isn't the best right now. It's actually quite disgusting. I can see that it's a lot easier to control for me. Now, I'm going to try somebody that has a lot more recoil, like Habana. Habana has very random horizontal and vertical recoil. So this will really just tell me. I just got to get the feeling down. Honestly, I'm thinking that I might just need to lower it like a tad bit more. Like maybe 55. And then I would turn my ADS just 65, 75, 87, and then 10 whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm over here sniping with Callie. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now, I will just have to practice with the sensitivity so I can actually be a lot more consistent. But I'm going to sit here and see how my tracking is with the ball on this new sensitivity. So, once you find the ball, as you can tell, there is a little bit of stuttering here. But I feel like once I get the muscle memory down, I'll be good. And that's what you guys got to realize. Like, not every single sensitivity is going to be perfect as soon as you grab onto it. But you need to get like a nice base minimum of being able to track the ball. As you can tell, I can track it. It's all good. My recoil is fine. It just needs some work. And yeah, so that's how I would personally find my sensitivity, guys, is really just sit in this and then use the training grounds for your advantage. Next is learning callouts and sight setup. Now, just like, you know, finding your sensitivity, this is one of the easiest things you could do. It just is going to take time. Now, I have 2 different videos on my channel that I recently posted going through every single map and every single site setup, whether it's from callouts to site setup. 2 different videos if you guys want to go check that out. I think I'm missing Emerald Plains in my site setup video. I don't know why. I had that completely recorded and edited down for that video, and I don't know what happened with it. I must have honestly just forgot when I was posting it. So I'm probably gonna like add an unlisted version and put it in the description of that video if you guys want to go look at that. But I would say go watch those 2 videos and you can learn like every single site setup, every single, you know, call out, and then try to use it in game when you play with your squad. Like try to set up the site, because it's really just muscle memory. It's going to take time, but it is super freaking easy. It's going to take time, guys. Next, I would say that solo queuing is an essential skill that people should learn. And the reason why I say this is because we all know that one person who's in your squad who only plays support, and their main idea is that they have a 0.8 KD or 0.7 KD because they mainly play support. And that's just cap. We know in reality that they just don't pick and choose their gunfights properly. They don't have proper positioning. And solo queue is one of those things that's really going to force you to work on your mechanics and force you to just become a better player when it comes to gunfights. Because at the end of the day, all solo queue is going to be gunfights. Because your teammates are actual living AIs. So I would suggest making a solo queue account and just solo queuing some games. Learn how to players play, learn how to force gunfights, and just learn how to take proper gunfights as well. Maybe this will also encourage you to maybe even go work on your aim, because your aim probably sucks. You can't crutch that supportive role, because to be honest, a lot of times when you're on support, sure, you might be not taking the most fast gunfights like, you know, someone that's roaming would, but you're taking the most essential gunfights that's need to win rounds. So one, you're either dying early as a supportive character, and that's an L, and you have bad positioning, or 2, you're not winning the most crucial gunfights that you need to for your teammates to win the game. So basically, go learn how to play other roles as well. Like when you're solo queuing, go learn how to entry. Go learn how to play a flex operator like Sledge or Buck. Learn how to play vertical instead of crutching yourself on hard breach. And then on defense, crutching yourself on cams, playing in sight. Go roam. Go learn the psychology behind that and learn how to just use your gun. So first, let's talk about why you do it. So it's named after shyo because shyo, the pro player, he basically came up with it. He popularized it, and it's very effective. Now, the way that he does it is a lot smoother than the way I would do it. But overall, it gets the job done. And it's not that complicated. Whether you're on console or PC, you can do this on a controller. I do it on a controller all the time when I play on Xbox. Basically, if you're swinging to the left, then when you're ADSing, you would just right click on your right stick and then left click, and it's very simple. It's actually easier than M and K. And the main objective of why you're going to be doing this is just so you can get easy information and then readjust your crosshair. The player model is going to, it's not overpowered or anything. It's not going to make you like screw up your hitbox or anything, but it is just going to be a quick peek, basically. This is the best quick peek in the game. So the enemy, they're just not going to be able to react to you peeking. Okay, so the best times when to do this is when you don't have a drone or you don't have information and you can't just wide swing and then get a kill. You literally need to just scan for information, and you can quickly do this and then slowly, as you can tell, just gain that quick information and then react off of it. Like say someone was on this elder bar right here. I'd quick peek, I'd see him, shoot. Or say no one's there. Okay, no one's bar. Checking VIP area. Okay, not seeing anybody there. Not seeing anybody there. And then slowly I can scan. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for coat now. I'm going to just slowly just put some time in and check a window. No one's there. Okay. Keep swinging. And then you can keep doing that. And it's just a good way to gain information. So now you're probably asking, how do you do this? This looks so hard. Well, no. I have this stupid little keyboard thing on screen. Follow along with it as I go about it. Okay, so there's two different ways you do this. One when you're on the right side, and then when you're on the left side. Basically, same process, just invert it. Let's talk about the right side, though. You're going to have a stronger side. So it's very easy for me to shyo peek on the right side because I'm more dominant on that side. Pause. And then versus my left side, which I'm not the most smooth person on it, but I can still do it. Not as fast, though. So on the right side, when you're about to peek, you're going to press D, of course. Let's just say that your lean keys is Q and E. Let's hope. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is starting out is I press D, which is going to move me to the right. And then I'm pressing D starting out, and then Q and A to get this animation where I'm leaning to the left. And then immediately I'm clicking E. So I'm doing this. So I'm basically leaning in, canceling that right lean, going to the left, and then canceling the strafe to my right since I'm clicking D and then A to stop that movement. And then I'm pressing E again. So as you can tell, that's basically all I'm doing. Now in terms of the left side, it's basically the opposite. I'm going to be pressing A first, then E and D to lean right and move to the right, and then clicking Q. And it basically gives me this effect right here. It's very easy, very simple to pick up. It just picks up some muscle memory, and it takes time to do that. But yeah, it's very good just for clearing quick corners when you don't have information, and you kind of just need to get that information really quickly, and you can win more gunfights just by doing this. To sum up perspective, guys, something I would say is a lot of you guys don't really understand how to play it for your advantage. And that's honestly why a lot of you guys lose rounds. So let's talk about the basics of perspective and what you should and shouldn't be doing. Okay, now on Jaeger's POV, he is holding a tight angle. And to be honest, I don't know why anybody would hold an angle like this. But as you can tell, perspective is in favor of Ash because she can now see Jaeger's entire body. You're not going to want to hold close angles like this against door frames because it's just idiotic. And as you can tell, like, perspective is not on your advantage. You're better off trying to hold a long angle. So let's say I was coming in pillar, you know, I'm trying to clear things, blah, 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 blah. I didn't see anybody immediately like the Jaeger when I came up pillar, you know, so I'm like, okay, I gotta grab bomb, cool, gotta check this angle, and then, you know, I gotta make sure nobody's tucked right, and then Jaeger's gonna be better off in this predicament holding an angle like this than holding that close door. Now, the only time you're really going to want to be holding tight angles like this, for example, is when you know somebody's up against like an object. Like, for example, this guy's on this mining, island. I don't really know what to call it. As you can tell, I can see his head. And now if I were to hold a longer angle, I would still see his head because he's holding too close to the freaking thing. And he just wouldn't see me because he's holding a very awful angle. Like, what is this angle, bro? What are you holding? You're trying to be sneaky and whatnot? No, perspective's not against you because the way the angle is set up. you're holding too tight of a peak. And yeah, so in this predicament, as the Ashe, I could technically hold the tight peak and then, you know, get the easy headshot. You ever wonder why sometimes people hold angles where, you know, it's just so radish? Well, one, it's because it's easy kills. Because see on Ashe's perspective how I can't peek down pillar, but, you know, or reading, I mean, and this Jaeger can see me. Well, that's because basic perspective. Now, of course, when playing vertical, a lot of the times what's going to happen is for the defense, it feels unfair almost because of the way the angle is set up. So as you can tell, we see the Jaeger's complete head right here, and Jaeger doesn't see anything in our body. The main reason why that is because the way that the camera is set up. So notice how I was able to see the top of this guy's head and, you know, anything else like his earmuffs and shit. Well, it's because the camera is actually placed in the middle of your face, like right dead center in the middle. I didn't know you can see Jaeger's face underneath this. He looks like a bandit. That's weird. You know, like when a dog or like a cat or like a child is like playing peekaboo with you. It's basically like that. This is the peekaboo theory, I'm gonna say. It's where people think that they can't see, you can't see them because they can't see you, and that's just idiotic as hell. This is like actually silly. So as you can tell, like Jaeger's on this reading door and he's holding tight on this door frame. He honestly would be better off holding a longer angle, holding this angle. In the first place, I don't know why he's holding this angle. It's actually very idiotic, but it's just an example. Or even let's see like this reading peak into reading door. So as you can tell, he's sitting there holding a pixel, and I'm holding this super long tight angle. I'm gonna immediately pop his head off because he's over leaning. So he can try his best to either one, try to have a fighting chance, or two, lean in the other way on the other side. So he's actually watching a fair fight. See how this is kind of just a fair fight now? It's kind of like a 50-50 chance. Well, that's literally just because he's leaning in the right way. He's holding wide enough. Now, see, if he was holding too tight of an angle here, I'm popping his head off and he's not seeing me. So instead, in this predicament, he's going to want to hold a wider angle. Now, of course, I can kind of just crouch walk in, get a plant off, but at least you have more of a fighting chance than holding a tighter angle and then getting one tap in the head. That's why you're losing more gunfights. That's why you're losing more games. And that's why your KD sucks so much, is because not only, one, your aim might be great. You can blame it on your teammates, but your positioning when it comes to your in-game player model, it's off completely. So basically my thesis and what the main point I'm trying to sum up here, guys, is be aware of how you're positioning your body. You also have to realize that, for example, when walking up staircases and holding stupid angles, there's some do's and don'ts. Like, for example, let's put Jaeger on this wood plaque right here. If we look at Ashe's perspective, we're going to see that we can see Jaeger's head. Can he see Ashe? No, because he is at a taller angle, but his eyes are covered up by this, you know, little metal beam. Now, of course, he's going to see me as soon as I swing wide, because I can see his eyes. But once I, you know, evade swinging wide, and for some reason say I don't kill him and I just want to be a weirdo, I can just go up the staircase tight. So that's another tip is just, you guys don't want to just go up a staircase tight. You're going to want to kind of hug the barrier sometimes, because situations like that. Now, if you found some type of value in this video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, especially till the very end. It means the most. If you guys find value in my content, you can also maybe watch these videos that's suggested here on these cards. If not, thank you so much for viewing the channel, guys, and have a good day.